For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Tennessee, Ms. Blackburn, seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Pursuant to House Resolution 421, I call up H.R. 3134 and ask for its immediate consideration in the House.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 3134, a bill to provide for a moratorium on federal funding to Planned Parenthood Federation of America, Incorporated.
Pursuant to House Resolution 421, the amendment printed in House Report 114-262 is adopted, and the bill as amended is considered read. The bill shall be debatable for 1 hour, equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Energy and Commerce or their designees. The gentlewoman from Tennessee, Mrs. Blackburn, and the gentlewoman from Florida, Ms. Castor, each will control 30 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Tennessee, Mrs. Blackburn.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and to include extraneous material on H.R. 3134.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentlewoman's recognized.
I rise in strong support of H.R. 3134, the Defund Planned Parenthood Act of 2015. Madam Speaker, we all remember the images of Kermit Gosnell killing babies who were born alive after a botched abortion. We know that those are sickening, and we know that they have renewed the demand for accountability from the American people. That is why we come before you today with H.R. 3134, the Defund Planned Parenthood Act of 2015. New documentation of these heinous practices that we have seen in videos that have come out of Planned Parenthood abortion clinics of harvesting the body parts of babies as part of the abortion process have raised serious questions about the possible systematic and repeated violation of state and federal laws. H.R. 3134 provides a 1-year moratorium, a freezing on the federal funding to Planned Parenthood Federation of America and all of its affiliates, while investigations are ongoing regarding the practices of the abortion speaker. Madam Speaker, most people think that is common sense. If there is reason to investigate, then there is reason to withhold taxpayer dollars during that period of time. Those dollars would be given to other facilities that provide women's health services. The American taxpayer has been very clear for a long time that they do not want taxpayer money spent on abortion. 68% of Americans oppose. And what is so interesting to me is that we know that 71% of all millennials oppose this. And, you know, I would remind my colleagues, Madam Speaker, there's no difference between men and women on this. There is bipartisan opposition from men and women to this practice. Additionally, the majority of Americans are opposed to the sale of body parts of babies obtained after abortion. So the discussion today is not about videos or women's health access. We know there are other ways to get that access. It is about our most basic right. It is about the right to life. It is also about doing what the taxpayers sent us to D.C. to do. It is also about continuing the process to protect our most vulnerable citizens, innocent little babies. At this time, I will reserve my time.
Expired. The gentlewoman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And at this time, I am going to close and kind of draw to an end this debate. I do want to remind all my colleagues, we're not discussing government shutdown. What we are talking about is a bill that would withhold funds from Planned Parenthood for a period of a year while we have an investigation. Now, I know they've called this a smear campaign. We are investigating the operations of Planned Parenthood. Why are we doing this? Planned Parenthood is big abortion in this country, 300,000 abortions a year, as opposed to 1,800 adoption services. 98.5% of all women who go there for a prenatal service, it is an abortion. Think about that, 98.5%. There is reason to review how they use taxpayer funding, and we are justified in withholding taxpayer funds until we finish that. Now, our colleagues have chosen to say that we are radical, dumb, shameful, disrespectful, foolish, extremists, deniers, deprivers, mean-spirited, and beating up on women. Think about that. All because we stand for life, for liberty. We stand for life rights, a first right. And these are the names. These are the names that you attach to people who defend those rights. You know, Saturday, I went to a baby shower. An excited grandmother said, "Meet my granddaughter." It was an ultrasound, a 3D ultrasound. Her name is Jessica. That is a baby with a life, and Planned Parenthood is aborting 300,000 of those lives each year. It is time for taxpayer money to be withheld. I support the bill. I yield back the balance of our time.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.